Alright guys, so here we go. Let's start with chapter 2 here. Don't want to take too long doing this. It's kind of a long chapter with a lot of stuff in here. I was looking this over. I was like, man, no wonder I was overwhelmed when I first started learning Japanese. There's so much in here. So lesson 2, kaimono. Kaimono, shopping. So they have these dialogues. I'll let you guys go through these. They have the dialogues here. And at the bottom they have the translations. So I'll let you guys go ahead and go through that. Tango is pretty self-explanatory. You might have to look up what tonkatsu is because pork cutlet isn't super obvious. But tonkatsu is delicious. You should look that up. What else we got here? Toke. A watch or a clock technically means both. Like a clock that goes on the wall or like a watch. You can say udedoke if you want to clarify that you're talking about a watch. Looks good. Toire. Toire. So I guess toire can mean like the toilet itself, but it's almost always the bathroom, you know? Toire. It's almost always like just the bathroom. And, yeah, restroom, bathroom, not necessarily the toilet itself. The toilet itself would be Genki. But, I don't know. Hopefully you don't really need to use that word so much. I don't know why. It's not a bad word. It's just something that usually comes up in conversation. America, Igirisu, Kankoku, Chugoku. I don't know. Why is Igirisu Britain? Does anyone know? But anyways, yeah. You can tell for a lot of them they're very similar to English. Like America and, you know, Brazil, whatever, other countries. But Spain, but Chugoku, China, Kankoku, the Asian countries sometimes have their own kanji, so they're different. Okay, so I'll let you guys go over those. Alright, so let's go over the grammar here, guys. So there's, like I said, there's kind of a lot in this chapter, so I just want to kind of go through this and break it down simply, but also covering everything that needs to be covered. So we have kore, sore, and are, also dore. So if we look at this picture, we can easily see the differences between these words. So starting with kore, kore would be used for something in your possession or close to you. Right? So, kore wa watashi no pen desu. This is my pen. This is it's a highlighter. This is my pen. Okay? I'm holding it. This is my pen. When you become this guy, and you're speaking to someone who has something, or something that is close to them, you would say, sore. That. That's the difference between this and that. Kore wa watashi no pen. This is my pen. Sore wa anata no pen. That is your pen. Now here he's claiming it's his pen. Sore wa watashi no pen. That's my pen. He's saying that is my pen, right? So sore is that, kore is this. Are is also that, but it would be used in situations where you're not directly speaking to the person who has possession of it, or that thing is far from the speaker and the listener. So she's telling this guy that that is my pen. Are wa watashi no pen desu. So she's telling him he's not involved in the pen at all. So she's going to use are because it doesn't involve the speaker or the listener. Really, are and sore are, you know, somewhat interchangeable. They're not. It's not like you can't use like are or sore in these situations. It's not like it would be like, you know, unintelligible, but it's just technically correct to do this. Are is also used for a lot of other things. Like are also just means like, it's like a filler word too. Like are? What? Like what? That's what it kind of means that. But yeah, are meaning that over there. Okay? Dore. Dore means which. So, dore desu ka? Which one is it? Which one are you talking about? So, dore also would be used in cases where usually there's 3 or more. If there's only 2 options, you would use dochi. Dochi. Again, you can probably use dore for any situation, even if there's only 2 options, but you'll hear dochi a lot when there's only 2 options. Okay? Dore ga anata no pen desu ka? Which one is your pen? Which one is your pen? So remember, no is meaning the possessive particle. So anata no pen, watashi no pen. Anata no is your, watashi no is mine. Kare no is his, kanojo no is her. Anthony no is Anthony's. And with that same logic, we're going to go into kono, sono, ano, dono, plus noun. So this means the same exact thing, but you're going to connect a noun to it. Right after you're going to connect a noun to it. So if I have this, I could say kore wa, and I'm clearly talking about the pen. So this is, kore wa pen desu. This is a pen. But if I want to say this pen, I would use kono. Kono pen wa watashi no pen desu. This pen is my pen. So no kind of makes the this into this thing, this noun. Whereas kore wa is this is, right? So kore wa ikura desu ka? How much is this? Obviously I'm holding this so you can see that I'm talking about this. Kore wa ikura desu ka? But if I say kono pen wa ikura desu ka? How much is this pen? So you can't say like kore no pen. Kore no pen. We can't say that. Kono pen just turns into kono. Kono tokei wa ikura desu ka? How much is this watch? Again, if it's kono, just like with kore, it's something going to be either very close to your vicinity or in your possession. So that's not going to change. That stays the same. This is just a small grammar difference here, right? So if we connect a noun with it, we have to change the re to no and just connect the noun directly. If we're not going to connect a noun directly to it and we're going to put that particle wa or ga, like kore wa, kore ga, there, you don't need no. But grammatically, the meaning will change a little bit. That's all this is saying. So, sono tokei wa 3,000 yen desu. So if you look at the kaiwa up here, she's talking about this watch that she's holding. Kono tokei wa ikura desu ka? And so the shop owner, who is not holding the watch, but sees that Mary is holding the watch, says, sono tokei wa. That pen is 3,000 yen desu. 3,000 yen, which is roughly 30 USD, if the exchange rate wasn't so horrible right now. Makes sense, right? And so, ano tokei wa 3,500 yen desu. That watch over there is 3,500 yen. So again, that watch, in the case where you use ano, is going to be away from the speaker and the listener. Think of it as like a third party, something over there, right? So, ano. Kore, sore, are. Okay, if me and you are speaking, kore, sore, you're now hold the pen, you're holding the pen, sore, are, the pen is over there. I still kind of needed that. Sorry, I have this one, which is technically a mechanical pencil. Alright, dono tokei ga. So again, as you notice, it's the same thing, but a noun immediately follows. That's it. Just a noun is going to immediately follow. Again, if you mix these up, just mix them up at first. Don't get all, crazy about getting it exactly right. People are going to understand if you mix up a little bit. But as you go, know this is how it's supposed to be, and you'll sound more and more natural as you practice. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, though. Nice little summary here, okay? Kore, kono, sore, sono, are, ano, dore, dono. And so you can see, like, you normally, you can have these particles here, wa, ga, that might change. The reason why ga is usually used with dore is because ga puts emphasis on like one thing. So which, right? So which is, your pen or whatever. Which pen is your pen? But like you can say kore ga, ga and wa are kind of, it's mysterious, Very, very similar. And as gaijin, we're definitely allowed to mix those up. You'll just learn kind of naturally as you go. All right, now keep your brain in this spot when we're talking about physical locations of things. Now we have koko, soko, asoko, and doko. Super easy, right? Koko is here, near me. Soko is there, near you. Asoko is over there, away from both of us. And doko is where. So doko is going to be the question word here, right? So koko, soko, asoko, doko. Okay? Sumimasen, yubin kyoku wa doko desu ka? Excuse me, where is the post office? Yubin kyoku. Doko desu ka? Nani nani wa doko desu ka? Where is something something, right? So you could respond by saying, 郵便局はあそこです. That's not that helpful, by the way, realistically, because they just said, oh, it's over there. And the reason why you have 郵便局 in parentheses here is because we both know what we're talking about now, right? If you asked me where the post office was, I don't need to, so you say, oh, where's the post office? The post office is over. I can just drop the post office, right? So, あそこです, right? The post office is over there. But if you say it's not wrong, so 郵便局はあそこです. Doesn't really help, but we don't really speak Japanese yet, so that's all we understand. So, あそこです, it's over there. They'll point you in the right direction, and hopefully you can find it. We'll learn more as we go. Okay. Now, oh, look, it literally even says we'll learn how to give more specific directions in lesson 4. Dare no. Grammar point number 4 for chapter 2. Dare no noun. Dare no noun. Whose. So we know no is the possessive noun. And we know dare is who. Anata wa dare desu ka? Who are you? Watashi wa dare desu ka? By the way, Mewtwo says that in Pokemon the first movie. Watashi wa dare desu ka? Who am I? Remember, because Mewtwo doesn't know who he is. He's a clone. He was made by scientists. He has no real identity. He just kind of came out of nowhere, right? At least in his own consciousness. Anyways, we know that dare is who. We know that no is the possessive noun. So you put dare plus no. Whose. Which I always used to mix these up, and I still do, like whose, like how to spell whose. Do I use the apostrophe one or no? But I guess that's who is. And this would be the possessive version of who. Whatever. I'm not an English teacher anymore. これは誰のカバンですか? Whose bag is this? Right? それはスーさんのカバンです. That's Sue's bag. So again, no is just as possessive, right? So I could say 誰の携帯ですか? アンソニーの携帯ですか? アンソニーの携帯です. でも but でも会社の携帯です. アンソニーの会社の携帯です. This is Anthony's company's phone. But I have it in my possession. Someone's got to sell it, okay? So that's easy. Dare no. Grammar point 5, noun plus mo. This is really useful. So unless one item A is item B, like this. Takeshi-san wa Nihonjin desu. Takeshi is Japanese. Michiko-san wa Nihonjin desu. Michiko is Japanese. So if we change out that wa for mo, as we see here, Michiko-san mo Nihonjin desu. So this just means two. This is super easy. This is super easy. So Anthony wa Amerikajin desu. Anthony is American. And okay, let's just say Steve-san mo Amerikajin desu. Steve is also American. Okay. So let's use a new vocab because this is really easy to practice with keiyoshi. All right. とんかつは美味しいです. とんかつは美味しいですね. とんかつ is good. 魚も美味しいです. 魚 or fish is good too. Fish is also good. Okay? So mo just means also. Super easy. Super easy. Note that these two sentences are almost identical. Yes, we know. This is natural, as they both claim a person is Japanese. The second sentence, however, is different from the first. So we switch out wa for mo. Okay, we get it. It's super easy. Look. Here we go. And there's a little note here. We cannot use mo to describe a situation like the following. Our friend Pat has dual citizenship. Pat is a Japanese. But at the same time, she is an American. Oh, okay. Pat's a girl's name. That's fine. To describe the second half of the situation, we cannot Pat mo Amerikajin desu. Because the sentence would mean that Pat, in addition to somebody that has been mentioned, is an American. So yeah, these little notes. Make sure you check these notes out here, guys, because they'll tell you about things that you can and can't use it for. All right. Grammar point 6. Noun じゃないです. The negative statement. 山田さんは学生じゃないです. So noun じゃない means not. Mr. Yamada is not a student. 彼は先生です. He's a teacher. But yeah. So anyways, じゃないです. 山田さんは学生 じゃありません. That's like the more kind of polite, more formal way of saying it. 山田さんは学生ではありません. That's the most formal. But じゃないです is perfectly fine. X は Y じゃないです. X is not Y. Okay? 私はメキシコ人じゃないです。ね、メキシコ人に見えるけど、メキシコ人じゃないです。I look Mexican, but I am not. 黒人です。4分の1黒人です。I'm black. I'm quarter black. Yeah. Practice. Whatever word じゃないです。これはペンじゃないです。これはペン、this is not a pen. これはノートパソコンじゃないです。携帯です。Okay? Like that. Alright, and lastly here we have ne and yo. Super, super useful. You'll kind of probably pick up on these naturally as you go. But these go at the end of sentences to add a bit of nuance. So when something ends with ne, typically, you're seeking affirmation from the other person. So if we're eating tonkatsu, right? 美味しいですね. Tonkatsu wa 美味しいですね. So I'm saying, right? Tonkatsu is delicious, right? Ah, そうですね. 美味しいです, right? Or for the example given in the book, リーさんの専攻は文学ですね. Miss Lee, your major is literature, right? I mean, you probably don't even have to translate this as Miss. You can just have Lee. Miss makes it sound like she's a teacher or something, but so Lee-san, your major is literature, right? So you're saying that to Lee, pretty much asking for confirmation. これは肉じゃないですね. This isn't meat, right? It's not meat, is it? So you're kind of wanting them to either confirm or deny something, right? And then yo. So yo is like kind of saying, like kind of almost teaching somebody. So you probably don't use this so much. You can, but not so much with people older than you. Just because it can come off as like, well, you know, a little from top down, you know, you're being a little takabisha. You shouldn't really do that. But you can say it in certain circumstances. But you'll use it a lot with people your own age or younger than you. Tonkatsu wa sakana janai desu yo. Tonkatsu isn't fish. Just so you know. Or let me assure you as I translate it here. Sumitsu-san wa Igirisu jin desu yo. In case you're wondering, Mr. Smith is British. So yo is used for these situations where you are kind of making sure somebody knows something, or adding new information, or kind of emphasizing something. Whereas ne is the opposite. You're seeking confirmation, right? So just have those in mind. They have all these wonderful notes here. This book is really great, actually. It's just, you know, it's hard because it takes a long time to get through. But it's a lot of good stuff here. Numbers, man, studying is going to take a long time. But if you keep up with it, you will be fluent, pera pera, as we say, in no time. So go ahead, go through these, do the practice stuff. And if you have any questions, post them in the comments. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.